Hi. I'm trying to get my desk situated. I have a whole bunch of stuff on my desk. And I have to like self-moderate, although you guys are here, so you guys will help me. Paul is not here, but that's all right. Gigi's here. Hold on, I'm pressing things. Oh my goodness. Look. Do you ever have like things in your own place? You like this? Do you ever have things like dedicated spaces in your desk and then you move it and it's like you don't know what to do? That's me right now. This way? This way. I'm always so conscious about my hat. I feel like it needs to be like... Thank you. We're gonna have fun today. How was you guys' weekend? Lost track of my mouse. The music's gonna start again. There you go. I'm like, will it? Will it not? I'm sharing you guys with ENN. Stephanie Lou's hosting with Anna Hill. And they have special co-host, special guest, Sylvia Nixon. That's all right. All good in the hood. Was cracking. And of course, the two people that are here, I'm sure are going to talk crap about my countdown timer, but that's all right. Hey, Gretchen, how are you doing today? What's going on? How's everyone's Monday? We're kicking off the week. How have you been feeling? How is it going? What is up? What's up? What's up? Today, we are going to talk about domains, and you guys are here. So I'm going to work really hard to stay on brand because you guys know you were self-proclaimed domain aholics, domain addicts, self-proclaimed domain addicts yesterday. So I know you know all that there is to know about domains and things like that, but I did prep some stuff so we can talk about it. And since you guys are self-proclaimed domain addicts, I'm going to try to say that all the time, all throughout the stream tonight. Let's see how many times I get tongue twisted. Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate you. But I'd love to hear any feedback, any insight that you have. Of course, feel free to jump in the chats and let me know from your experiences with domains. We're going to take it from like the very beginning of what a domain is, where do you get it, why do you need a domain? We're going to simplify it, and then we will just actively talk. So we did the recap yesterday. We're good. We can get straight into it. I mean, unless you guys have something else. Let me go into my next scene. Oh, you know what I did do? I was on Etsy, and I brought some different legs for the loop deck. And I am going to give a class on it next week. We'll do a stream, or the week after, comparing it to Stream Deck. But these are 3D printed legs, which rise it, make it at a much higher angle compared to the Stream Deck. So the standard legs... The standard leg that it comes with is this. So it's at like, I don't even know, like a 20-degree angle this sits on versus like this one here. So if we put this on, it sits much closer to the desk. But I got that today. It's so much better. I can see it. I can see it much better. I'm very excited. I'm still in the process of really like customizing it and things like that. But pros and cons for both. I'm so deep into the Stream Deck ecosystem or the Elgato ecosystem. I have my Stream Deck all like customized out. Sometimes it's hard to like break the habits or find a new use for it. I am excuse me, I am really taking advantage of the knobs and the dials on the Loop Deck. That's been really good. When I'm like working throughout the day to listen to music and fine tune. I haven't used it with editing because I really haven't done any videos, but I can imagine that with editing on Final Cut Pro and things like that, because of the dials to like get into a certain part of your timeline, that must be really good. Pros and cons between the two. So, hey girl, hey, how are you doing today? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. So we are going to get straight into talking about domains. And like I said, bear with me for those of you guys that are here. We're going to simplify this live stream today. So a domain is simply put, it's just a website, right? Like it is the part when you have an email address that you have whatever your beginning part is. Your handle is the first part, and then your domain is the second part. So your handle, so it's like India at, and then my domain is idelgatoproductions.com, right? So the at after, so if it's at Gmail, the gmail.com, that's your domain. At Yahoo, yahoo.com is your domain. So very simply, it is a way to customize your website, your emails, things to that extent. Some examples of domain names are .com, .org, .gov, .live, and .store. .live is very popular now in these streets. I have a .live, so I actually have two. The one that I use the most often is IndiaD.live. I do also own iDelgatoProductions.live. I haven't really been using it because with the iDelgato Productions, I've just been using .com, but I do own the iDelgato Productions.live. I own a few .lives, and I did see that it is on sale. Another good one, if you are selling products to own, is to own the .store, because that makes sense. So like Ecamm with their merch, what is it? It's Ecamm.merch.store, I think it is. But I know that they have, I believe that's it, Ecamm.merch.store. I believe that's their handle, so, or their domain. And so those are some examples of domains. And why should you have one? That's really the nitty gritty of it. It's the biggest and simplest reason is for personal branding and for marketing. You're going to streamline your brand, and it gives you consistent marketing and branding throughout. So when we talk about tomorrow with Rebrandly, it'll make more sense with streamlining your brand and being more consistent across. But even if we're talking about, for me, right, IndiaD.live. So then it's my email, India@IndiaD.live. Or you can put, if I want from my main page on my website, info@IndiaD.live. But then my website is courses.IndiaD.live. So the consistency where it becomes much easier for me to remember. And then as people get to know you and your brand, for instance, right? So I know that Evie, her handle and her domain is Ask Evie. That's what she uses. So if I know that I want to look for anything Evie, anything with ClickUp, anything that she does, and I may not remember the specifics, I can go to Google and I can put Ask Evie, and I'm 99% sure her website will come up, or anything that's associated with Ask Evie, and that domain will show up. So for personal branding, and as people get to know you, and as you create a presence with wherever it is, it's not just social media marketing. It's not just us as content creators, it's any sort of entrepreneur, any sort of aspect as an individual where you want to create your own personal brand. We all recommend, hey, K-Walk. K-Walk is here for the badge. How you doing, K-Walk? Oh, and look at Christmas. Clatter Todd came in just in time.
Ho, ho, ho.
How are you doing today, sir? I appreciate you coming through and showing support. Do this one more time.
Ho, ho, ho.
Because I genuinely enjoy that that sound effect. I have to change it and put it on my main scene. So just really quick, like I said, streamlining a brand, consistent marketing when you're promoting throughout, instead of promoting Google, Yahoo, iCloud, things like that. And then the bigger thing, and I'm glad that both Evie and Gigi are here today, right? Because they're big on this. And Gigi, this is one of her aspects of her law business that she helps her clients with, is your copyrights and your trademarks. So it's easier to protect your copyright and your trademark once you do start to have your own domain and as you start to build out your own brand, because now that becomes more of an aspect that this is yours. This belongs to you. And I don't know the semantics of it, because that's why you have professionals like Gigi to know the semantics. And I'm sure she can give you great information, and Evie can as well, because they are great at that stuff with understanding that. With what I was explaining earlier about, right, Ask Evie, this search engine positioning, that's exactly what I mean. I know that Ask Evie, anything that she's going to associate with her business, it's going to be Ask Evie. So again, you go to Google and you type in Ask Evie, that's what I mean by search engine positioning, that it's going to show up, and it may send us to her Instagram page. It may send us to, or all of those things will pop up, right? So it's going to put you in a really good place with the SEO, search engine positioning, with having your own domain. And then it gives you your control. You still have to pay someone. There's the registrar. So there's a whole process of it. The registrar, so like Google or name.com or GoDaddy, that's your registrar. That's who you're buying your domain from. And you usually pay on an annual basis, but now that's your name and your brand and your content. So that's the biggest reason, or different small reasons, but the biggest reason is personal branding and marketing as to why you should have one. And right, so like I'm in different chambers. Everyone who is a chamber member should have their own branding and marketing. They're not content creators. They're not doing what we do with live streams and with creating videos and things like that. But they're a part of the chambers of commerce, because at some point they're promoting their business. So if you're promoting your business, then you absolutely need to have a domain. Hey, Obs, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. And Todd says, early on, I missed getting Darlene Love as a guest because I didn't have a website. Really? See? Why? Give me more information. I want to know more about that stuff. But it's crucial, right? So I didn't even talk about having a website, but that's another thing. So having your own domain opens up the possibilities to customize your own email, to customize your own website. There's subdomains. So an example of a subdomain is kind of like me with that. I have a Kajabi website, a website through Kajabi, right? I'm going to be releasing masterclasses. And so my domain, my website is courses.indiad.live. That courses site is actually the domain through Kajabi. So Kajabi gave me my own, and whatever it is, my Kajabi at India or whatever the case may be. But because I have my own domain, I was able to redirect and retitle the website address with a subdomain. So Kajabi gives you their own, right? And then they say, do you want to customize this even further? Do you have a domain that you would like to use as a sub? And so I said, yes. And there are different steps. You have to go to the registrar. So you have to go to the host and ask, it's called DNS. So you have to get the steps where basically it's a redirect, right? Like all that internet things, but you want to point your website that you've paid for, your domain, you want to open up a port so that this secondary website that you're going to give permission to redirect as a sub, give access to that. So I hope that I explained that without making it more complicated than what it needs to be. If I did explain that in a complicated way and you want me to simplify that, please let me know in the comments. Gigi is just reminding everyone, make sure if you have any questions to put a Q:, in front, because otherwise it is just a comment. Thank you very much. And she's reminding you guys to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks, Gigi. I appreciate you. And I will help you out with my buy me a coffee. I'm actually not going to put that one there because it's going to block the timer, but I will put it and help you out with, it should pop up in the comments for a little bit. So let's go back here on why you should have your own domain. And now, how do you get one, right? So how do you obtain your own domain? There's a bunch of different hosts or registrars that you can buy. I would personally recommend you going with one that is a more popular one, a more trusted one. Google Domains. So Google has their own. I actually started off with Google and not with names.com. So I have domains on both different sites. I own domains through Google. I also own domains on name.com, not names.com. I have to fix that. Name singular, not plural. You can purchase one from GoDaddy. There's also domain.com. So there's different options, but you absolutely want to start off with the more popular ones. And then the biggest thing is you want to check the availability of what you're looking for, right? Google Domains and Names is where Gigi goes. So those are probably going to be the top two. I mean, if you're looking to do a website, some people may then say, all right, GoDaddy, because they can help create a website as well. But the top two, I think, are the most popular. They also have their own security features built in. And so that's what we recommend here in this community. So Obs says, actually, lady moderator. Yes, she's the lady moderator. I find that, so Gigi is saying that she finds that GoDaddy is shiesty. You search and it's open, search again, it's gone, and they're trying to sell it to you. See, what is that? We were talking about that just the other day, right? That clickbait, where it's like, okay, so what are you doing? Is this clickbait or is it the bait and switch? That's what it really is, bait and switch, right? So I'm gonna do a screen share, and I do have, let's see, let me do this here. And let me make this a little bit bigger so that we can pop up names.com and we can take a look at it. Let's move all of this stuff over. I'm going to bring myself in. All right. And hey. Let's do a circle. All right. And let me move myself over. Can right over here. Cool. All right. So this is names.com, and we'll look at Google Domains as well. But when I talk about, if we go back to not that scene, if we go back to the PowerPoint where I said about checking alternatives and checking the names, this is what I mean. So let me just go back into this scene here. So let's say you have your search domain names. Okay, here's the other thing, guys, that I have for me personally, which annoys me because my name is India. The things that are associated with India, the domains are just like, you'll see, it'll pop up. So it becomes a little bit more difficult to do. Or to find unique ones. And they're usually anything that if I just want to use like India, they're all taken. So let's go back to this scene. Hey, Facebook user, how are you doing today? Thank you for coming through. So let's go back here. And what I'm going to do is if I type in India, if I type in India D, right? This is going to give me everything that's available in terms of the domains, right? So the dot blank. So it's recommending indiad.lux. I don't know why. Then you have indiad.net, indiad.co, indiad.contact. And then if we keep going down, here in the middle of the page, you have bombay.lux. Like, why? Look at this. Mumbai D tours. Bombay. Do you know why? indiad.travel. Why do you think that is, guys? Because my name is a country. That is why. Yeah. So indiad.com is not available, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. It's my work phone. Let me put it on Do Not Disturb. I apologize. IndiaD.com is not available. IndiaD.live luckily was available. And then India Delgado. I purchased a few India Delgados, but if we go into it, IndiaDelgado.com also, I think, wasn't available. But this is what I mean. Just going back to the presentation, this is what I mean about checking availability, because what's going to happen is you're going to have an idea and then you're going to see all of these other handles that are here, or all of these other domains. And so you may say, and this is why we say that we are domain, what do we say? Domain addicts, because it's so easy. If we start looking, right, IndiaDelgado.net, ooh, it's on sale, $11.99. IndiaDelgado.org, that's $8.99. Ooh, IndiaDelgado.co is $4.99. Why is Delgado.com? Apparently someone owes it, and I can buy it for $1,475. I'm good. I'll pass. But then this is what happens. Delgado.community, that's kind of cool. IndiaDelgado.family. So it gives you different ones where you may not have thought of it. And as you start to say, do I like the way that sounds? Or do I want to really does this one sound better? Is this one a better depiction of me? Because once you buy your domain and you really start using it, this is going to be a representation of you. So that's where it becomes addicting, because you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to use this one just yet. Oh, I don't know if I like the way India Delgado. I don't know, not .us, but IndiaDelgado.guru. I like the way that one sounds. Okay, well, let me get that one. I also like the way India Delgado, right? So then you start putting it in your cart and you start purchasing it. And then by the time you know it, like Aubrey, she had over 100 domains that she ended up having to give up because she is in Domain Purchasers Anonymous. Because that's what today's class really is about. Domain Purchasers Anonymous. On Facebook, user says, I was able to get ElizabethMarasco.com. Hey, Liz, how are you? But not LizMarasco.com, right? So it's one of those things, the variations of it. And Liz, you're always coming on to Facebook. You got to come over to where the cool kids are and come over to YouTube, the only India Delgado on YouTube. Luckily, thank God. But come on over and hang out with us so we can see your username and I can see that it's you. Some people are parking addresses and making money. So I'm going to tell you such a funny story about how IndiaD.live came about, and exactly this. Some people are parking addresses and making money. So when, Doc and Diana and we all started really hanging out and stuff and really talking and becoming friends, I was using India at idelgadoproductions.com. And so if Diana was like, India, what's your email address? Or India, my link, because I started immediately using Rebrandly. India, let me get your Ecamm Live link. I want to come in. And it was India at idelgadoproductions.live. And all Doc and Diana kept saying was that it's too long. It's too long. You need to, and I've heard that for months. You need to shorten it. That's too long, India. Why did you have to do India at iDelgado Productions? Why couldn't it be India? Said in one weekend, we're all chilling and talking about domains and just buying up random domains. And Doc was like, listen, IndiaD.live is available. If you don't buy it, I'm going to buy it and then I'm going to sell it to you. And I was like, all right. And you guys know I like to sleep early. I like my sleep. So once I'm tired, I'm tired. And this happened to be it was a weekend, but it was a late night. I was on the sofa, literally about to knock out. And Doc was like, for real, hey, gang. Hey, India. Hey, I'm about to buy it if you don't buy it. You better, because this is too long, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. And then I think I waited maybe 2 days. And then I went to go buy it because I was tired of hearing Doc and Diana come at me about my domain being entirely too long. And so when I went to go buy it, it was bought. It was no longer available. And I had the only panic attack. Look, So then I start sending messages on instant messenger. And I'm like, listen, which one of y'all? And they were like, Lemuel was like, not me. Diana was like, not me. David Blackman was like, not me. And I was like, and June was like, I don't know. Why would I do that? I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, the only one left is Doc. But you know, when we're in the present today, Doc is still on yesterday's day, right? So like he's still in the past because of that Hawaii time. So I had to patiently wait for Doc to wake up and to catch up with me on Eastern Standard Time. And Doc bought the domain indiad.life. And he had to register it over for me. And so he didn't like blackmail me or anything like that. But that's how easy it is. We were talking about it. He was so annoyed. He no longer wanted to use India at idelgadoproductions.com. He's like, who's going to say that on a website, right? Like, and he wanted to make sure that I secured it because everybody started buying up the .lives. And because my name is so popular, he went and bought it for me and then just registered it to me. He did. He told me. And you know, Doc, he did it to teach me a lesson. And so then that's what created my FOMO. And I went in and I immediately bought indiadelgado.live, idelgado.live. I bought like 5 or 6 different domains with my name and my initial variations so that nobody would go ahead and get it from me. Angie did have a comment, and it looks like Gigi did answer it, but I will say it in the stream. Would you recommend buying your name brand just because? I don't intend to sell. Hold on, I got to fix how long that is. I don't intend to sell or have a business, but because I am Angie Gemini and don't want anyone else to have it. And Gigi quite simply said, yes, girl, yes. What's wrong with you? That's it. She just said ... Yes. So there you go, Angie. So let's go back to the screen share and let's put that in. That's a good one, right? For Angie. And let me just turn the screen share on. Screen share. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. Go back and forth. All right. And yes, good. Angie. Hey. Gemini. And just type in Angie Gemini. So if you type in, unless you know that you want .live or something like that, you can put in .live, but I like to leave it and let the registrar, the host, tell me exactly what's available. So you have angiegemini.com is available at $8.99. So I'm going to add this to cart so then I can blackmail Angie. And I can charge her. That is as rated R as we will get. But Angie, look, there you go. So you have Angie, and then look, they try to get you save at 56%. But this is why there is such a thing as Addicts Anonymous. This is exactly why, because names.com wants to help you save at 56% by bundling and getting all 4 domains, angiegemini.com, .net, .org, .info. And instead of paying $61, you will pay $26.99. This is what happens. So then you can go through, and if you did want one, right, Angie, so they do have an angiegemini.live, and they're on sale. So I'm going to buy it for you. I'm going to keep it in my cart so no one else. They have angiegemini.rocks, but I am going to buy the .com. If you want any of the other ones, Angie, let me know in the comments and I'll add it to my cart. So like that, nobody can buy it and we will save it for you. So let's go back here and let's see. Obs says, that's why I'm called Simply Obs, because I had to think of a Twitter username, and I'm sure there were other ones taken, right? Evie says, I literally decide product and service names based on URL availabilities. So, right, it's a backwards kind of thinking way, because what's going to happen is what we were talking about initially is we were talking about your brand. So if you're talking about your brand and hold on, where's my, and your marketing, that's the big part of marketing. Oh, you know, let me go back over here, click on this. The Loop Deck doesn't have a PDF previous page. I got to check that out. Let me see. Looking at all my shortcuts. I got to add that in. But if we go back right to your marketing and talk about Evie's comment, she's saying that She's going to decide on the name of the products that she sells and the names of the services that she sells based off of URL availabilities, based off of domain availabilities. Because what's going to happen is as she starts to promote and market her products, her sales, her services, if she can point you in the direction of that domain, so if it's Ask Evie, click up, whatever, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like that's how she's going to decide on what to name that product or service, because she's going to go and do what we just did in the names.com search of seeing the availabilities, purchase that first, and then start marketing it that way. So let's go back. Gretchen says, we have bought the domain names for all our grandkids as soon as they were born. They will be there when they need them, right? See, that's because you never know, like with names and things like that. And if whatever it is that they want to do, because it's such personal branding and marketing goes beyond our content creation world. Personal branding and marketing applies to every single thing. Listen, you can be a dog walker. You should be creating your own brand and marketing your own brand and your own business as a dog walker, right? Like you can be a bricklayer. And if you were the damn finest bricklayer in Philadelphia, you should have your own domain name and market and your personal brand and promoting your personal brand. So, get her the .live one. I put it in the cart. Let me make sure I put it in the cart. Thanks, Gigi. Let me make sure. Let me go in. Because I have some more, of course, because I have stuff for me. So let me continue to check out. Let's see what we have here. And so, yeah, I have both. I have the nggemini.com, nggemini.live, and then I was buying some emails. So I'm going to add that on there as well. So thanks for the reminder. Let's come back to you guys in the comments. Feel So Alive, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Feel So Alive says, my business name is now up to 3K. I wanted to buy it if I wanted to buy it. So, right, that means that someone else purchased the domain name. And so that's good that it's available, but you can get it, but then you got to pay $3,000. So then it becomes, can you put a number or can you change the spelling? Maybe like replace the I with a number 1. But then the problem becomes when people are searching, right? You need to be careful because if they don't know how to search, that's just a whole nother mess of complications. Ob says, yes, Obs was already taken by the bombast lady, Obs Sabria. So I had to come up with something else. I do have glasses down here. See, I'm struggling. And I was talking to you guys about this. Oh, look, I can see the letters on the screen now. And then Evie, touching on what I was talking about earlier, is in some cases I go as far to check for trademark. And that's because, Evie, that's a whole nother, I have to have Gigi back and then have you back on the show so we can further talk about trademarking and why you want to trademark your brand and market and things like that, because that is a whole nother entity and a whole nother beast, but there's a good reason for it. So let's go back to the points of where we're at. All right, so let me just go back. So we spoke about how do you obtain one? Those are the different alternatives of obtaining ones. And then what are the costs, right? So I'll go back to the screen sharing in a minute, because what's going to happen is based on your popularity of that domain, sometimes they're on sale, sometimes they're more expensive, the type of domain. So I don't know the formula as to how the pricing is, but you'll see, we'll go back on the main page, but you'll see that they start. So right now, when I was looking, .live is on sale. So if you don't have a .live and you are into live streaming, or you think you're going to start getting into live streaming, it's not going away, right? Like YouTube is now creating its own section just for video podcasting. And if you're going to do a live video podcast, well, then guess what? Having a .live domain, if you don't have one, I would absolutely, in this community, I would absolutely make sure that you have a .live. That's why Gigi said to make sure that I purchased the .live handle or the domain for Angie because she goes on TikTok. Although she's not on YouTube, she has done lives on TikTok. So then if she wants to customize anything like that, it's angiegemini.live. So that point of direction, it's easier for people and it makes sense. So right now, .live is on sale. I would absolutely take advantage of it if you don't have it .live. If you need more .lives, again, this is Domain Addicts Anonymous. Don't blame me if you start purchasing because they're $2.99 on sale. I will not be the culprit. Okay? And then you usually have to pay annually. You can pay for more than 1 year at a time. They'll usually cut you a break if you decide to pay for 2, 3, 4 year, 5 years in advance. It's also easier. You will get an email notification. They'll let you know that happened to me. Actually, my .live domain expired this year. It was in January when all of that stuff, when Doc bought it for me last year and things like that. So it expired this year. And I was trying to get on a call with Dr. Elo. And Dr. Elo was checking some of my things. And he was like, dude, your links aren't working. And it was redirecting to like a site in India. And so then I had a whole panic attack because it was redirecting. And I'm like, no, the pirates got me. They hacked into my domain. Like I legit had a whole heart attack. And then I'm like, and then I thought it was Rebrandly because it was doing a redirect. So I was like, oh my God, my links are broken. But then it wasn't Rebrandly. And so I was like, all right, hold on. Let me think this through. I paused. And then I went into name.com and it was that the annual registration was up. So as soon as I paid it, they turned off the lights. They were like, nah, son, you ain't pay the bills. Turn off the lights. And then they turned off the lights. And as soon as I paid the bills, they turned on the lights again and all my links were working. So making sure that you pay for it as Evie is recommending, set it to auto renew, but renew manual using Honeycomb extension and save yourself money on privacy. See, look at all the tricks. A Honeycomb extension, that's a whole nother class because Honey helps you save money. It gives you like coupons to pricings and all of that good stuff. Hey. Sean, Mr. Information Man Show, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. What do you mean using Honey extension, saving on see, that's why I said that's a whole nother thing. Evie, you will have to explain that. So just going back to the costs, it's going to be based off of popularity. Depending on how often you choose to pay, are you going to pay for 1 year or you're going to pay for a couple of years up front? And then there's options for different add-ons. So you can buy one email at a time. If you're going to purchase a website, that's a separate fee. So there's different add-ons. And when you start adding it to the cart, they'll tell you, well, that's this price for this and that's that price for that. And then if you're using Google Workspace, so I actually have a handful of domains on name.com. And I think I'm going to move them over to Google because I want the workspace. And so what's going to happen is you pay for whatever your domain is on Google annually. And then you can pay monthly for workspace. And what the workspace does, I'm going to hide this handle. I don't want to hide the handle because then y'all are going to be like, see that stupid handle. It was just a suggestion. So we're going to move the timer down. But what Google Workspaces is that it provides you for per month per user. It provides you your own custom email address. You can do your own custom video meetings through Google Meet. It gives you your access to calendar. You can use Google Docs. Let me hide the controls because I can't see it. And then more, right? So, and Gigi is saying you can use Workspace without switching the domain to Google. I know, and it gave me the option, but it's like my OCD is just kicking in well, I guess, you know what? I probably should start that because then I have to pay. So that makes sense. I like to have everything all in one place. And so that was the reason why I was going to transfer it just to have it all in one place. However, now talking this out loud with you guys, the thing with having it all in one place right now, if I were to transfer it, I have to pay a transfer fee to Google to bring it from name.com to Google. But I'm already paid up for the year. I'm paid up through 2023. So if I just decide to do the Google domain, the workspace within name.com, I start paying monthly, and then maybe I can transfer it next year instead of spending unnecessary money. So thank you, Gigi, for helping me through that one. And she's just reminding you guys to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel. So let's go back. So I would recommend, regardless of where you are getting your domain from, look into Google Workspace so that you can get your emails, your calendars, and just streamline everything, especially if you are going to be doing it from a business perspective, an entrepreneurial perspective, whether you're selling a service, whether you're selling a product. If you're going to be interacting with people that you're going to take advantage of needing to create a document, needing to keep track of your calendars of meetings, appointments, and things like that, then Google Workspace is definitely worth it. For someone like Angie, if she's just starting off and just wants the domain, right? Or like how Gretchen said that they bought the grandkids their domains for now with their names, they don't need Google Workspace because right now they're not going to be using any of those features. But then that can be a potential add-on in the future. I do want to go back to just show the pricing and the add-ons depending on what we're looking at. So I'm going to go back to the main page, type in Angie Gemini again, and I spelled it wrong. Don't kill me, Angie. I got to make sure I spelled it right in the other one. Right, so for angiegemini.com, annually, it's on sale now for $8.99. So like there's a little button, and if you guys are looking on your phone or on your iPad, it may be hard to see. On the TVs, it will be easier. But this box that's popping up is saying it's 99 cents with Google Workspace, right? So they're basically saying if you get Google Workspace, then it's actually going to be 99 cents. So I would ask Angie which one she would want me to do. And so this one for angiegemini.live, it actually it says it's free with Google Workspace. So that's some of the stuff to pay attention to. And again, it might be better off paying for it and getting it ahead of time to know, you know what, this is what I want for right now and lock it in than not using it at all. And then there's this other thing here. It says TrueName, and TrueName, it says offers domain extension options that are meaningful, authentic, and uniquely protected against domain fraud. So it just helps you making sure that no one did what I thought that they did, that it was redirecting my domain to some Bombay, India website. And I had a whole panic attack. All right. So that is that. Let's go back to the slides. And then how do you start using it, right? So this is the last of the slides, but first and foremost is you're going to want to start creating your own email address. So for someone like Angie, that she's not necessarily right now selling her own product, but she is very active in the TikTok community, and people have reached out to her, you know, like to talk to her about being a single mom and things like that. So instead of giving her own personal email address, she would create her own email address and then give those people from her TikTok following that personalized domain name, the angiegemini.live, let's say. So you definitely want to start creating your own email addresses. You can have an info at angiegemini.live if you just want to send info requests and things like that. You then can direct people, create your own website, and then that'll be the title of your website, right? So whether it's indiad.live website or angiegemini.live. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about, and this is going to be more of a deep dive. So today was just kind of scratching the surface with how you really start using your domains, because tomorrow we're going to do a deep dive of looking into your Rebrandly and how you can use Rebrandly now that you have your own domain. And basically Rebrandly, if you think about the word, it's just taking your brand, which is your domain name. So in my case, it's indiad.live. That's my brand. That's what I promote now. So it takes my brand of indiad.live and it takes any links that I want to point it to or any websites that I want to point it to, and it rebrands those websites. So instead of, if I want someone to go to my YouTube channel, instead of saying go to youtube.com, right? That's YouTube's, that's Google's branding. I want them to get to memorize my branding, my personal information. So then I'm going to say, go to indiad.live/YouTube or indiad.live/YT. If you want to find my Instagram, and this is really good if you're out like on the road and you're really networking. I know that now the pandemic has changed things a little bit, but like Evie just came from social media marketing world, right? There were tons of people there in social media marketing world. So instead of directing them, oh, my Instagram is, you can find me on Instagram at blah, blah, blah. Now it's askev.com/ or askev.live/IG or askev.com/Instagram, right? Directing people there. So as you're telling people, they're going to now know, if I want to find Evie, it is Ask Evie. So if I want to find India, if her Instagram, if her YouTube is indiad.live/YouTube, and I didn't tell that person what my Instagram is, if they have a little bit of smartness, if they're a little smart, they can probably figure out that my Instagram is indiad.live/IG or indiad.live/Instagram, right? My LinkedIn, if I want to point them to my LinkedIn, indiad.live/LinkedIn, you get the point. So taking that site, rebrandly, and just making your marketing work for you and creating your own personal brand and getting it ingrained in people's heads. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Getting your brand and your information ingrained in people's heads so that they know, okay, India is indiad.live. And now I've said it enough times tonight, you guys will never forget it. So if you want to meet with me, right, because I have Calendly links, and we're going to talk about that later on this week. If you want to meet with me, it's indiad.live/meet. Simple. If you want to jump on my eCam link, jump on an interview, it's indiad.live/join. Right? Where it's like, okay, let me just start, like somebody can be a random crazy person and just put indiad.live/ on a website and just start typing all different types of words and see what gets redirected to my website. So I have my own bio, indiad.live/bio, and that takes you to like my link tree with my bio and all the different, my social media handles and things like that. Courses.indiad.live is where my website is. So that is domain names and purchasing and building your personal brand using domains in a nutshell. I feel like all of you guys here were all experienced, so I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys sticking through it. At least we know that we helped Angie out with some stuff, right? Like, and we're going to get her set up with her own domain tonight, and I'll talk to you guys and make sure it's locked and loaded. But do you guys have any questions or any thoughts, any concerns, anything that I missed? Let me know. We got 10 minutes, and you guys be saying that my timer is baloney. Gigi, coming for you. Don't know, I'm not. You're my moderator today. I appreciate you. I'm not coming for you. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, yes, I think I'll buy. No, not yes, I think, Angie. It's already in my cart. I'm going to buy it for you. I'm just going to call you as soon as I'm done, and then I'm going to buy it for you, and you can just send me the money. Don't worry about it. Gigi already said, what is wrong? Gigi, come in the comments and handle your girl, Angie. What? We already said you need to buy one because you're right. On TikTok, you're right. I sure do, and I will fight me. Okay, no, we peoples, listen, go fight Angie because Angie's like, yes, I think I'll buy mine. No, woman, absolutely not. Thank you so much, Carlos. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Making it easier for you to understand. So, Carlos, I hope that you have your own domain with motivated minds. I'm not sure if that's the name of your business. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Much better. Yes, you will buy yours, and we're going to buy you a few different ones just so we can have, because you are going to be inducted in the, what did we call it? Domain Addicts Anonymous. I don't know. I messed up the name already, but we're going to induct you tonight into it. So going back to Carlos, do you own any domains, Carlos, or have you been thinking about it? I'm not sure if this is what the name of your business is. So give me some information, because if not, listen, and if you're going to start doing your live stream, that live stream yesterday was dope. .live is on sale, brother. Take advantage and just, secure it. Secure the bag. Feel So Alive says, using Google Workspace now, didn't know about domains being involved with Google Workspace. Yeah, 100%. So you can now go ahead, since you're using Google Workspace, it's kind of working the other way around. You buy your domain and just attach it to Google Workspace, and you just have that whole personalized experience. So that's good. Simply Ob says, what is that Notability template you are using again? I know it's 100 days. That's so funny. Do you know, Obs, that Paul called me earlier and he needed the template? He was asking me for the template. He was worried I was going to go over that today. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that until next week. He was like, oh, okay, good. I really want to be there. And he wanted the template. So the template, I guess since we're done, we sound like a group in Harry Potter. Right. Exactly. Right. So what I will do is, and I forgot, I'll show you guys that really quick since we are done with the domains part. And as I do this, feel free to give any more feedback or talk any more if you want about domains, any suggestions, because we do have plenty of addicts here in the group. It's not just me, and we all have it. We all have a handle of different amount. Let's see. Good. I'm glad you have one. Good stuff. All right. So it's from Boss Planner, the planner that I use, the 100-day digital planner. So if you type in it's Boss Personal Planner. And so if you click on it, they have a few different links. Hey, Brianna, how are you from the beginning? So helpful starting over, figuring out my brand, baby steps. That's all right, girl. You are here. We appreciate you. So that's good. So you're coming in just at the right time this week. If you can't catch us live, definitely the information that I have planned for you guys this week will probably be very helpful for you, Brianna, as you're starting, because so today was on domains to start creating your own brand. And then tomorrow we're going to go into how do you start using that. So I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope give me feedback and keep me posted with your progress. So that's really good. So this is what I use. You can claim your 15% discount. They're really good. They have a bunch of different planners. Unclick. Listen. All right, here we are. So they have digital planners. They also sell books, tangible books, if you like paper planners, if you're that kind of person. Who uses paper planners anymore? But they're cute, Angie. They do have really cute planners. That's not my thing. I hate carrying around. You can also print your own. So they have different templates if you want to print your own. But you guys are here for the cool stuff, which is the digital planner section. So if we look at all digital planners, these are all the different types. I own the personal planner. I own the budget one. I actually had built a bundle. So I own the budget one. I think I own the business one. I'm not quite sure. This gratitude one is great. We are going to go over the gratitude one when I start doing notability and templates and things like that. Because, and I know Carlos can tell you all about mindfulness and practicing gratitude. It's just so great for you and your inner psyche and just to help alleviate stress. So I actually use this gratitude journal. I try to do every single day in the morning as I'm having my coffee. Obs says, where is it again? It is bosspersonalplanner.com. So type in Boss Personal Planner. And then the one that I'm using for my content creation is the 100-day planner. And so you can buy both options. I purchased the dark one because I love using dark mode with my notes. And so it just basically it breaks down the 100 days. And we'll talk about that next week when I go over that. Okay. Feel So Alive says, do you need a landing page if you are doing all these directs from one domain? Love this. All right. So let's talk about a landing page. So you have good. And I'm glad. Thank you so much for the feedback. That's important for me to keep going. It keeps me motivated. So I appreciate you guys. So I have this landing page that I created because I do have my website. My website is not finalized. And so, okay. And so I created, let's go to it. So if we go to, remember, indiad.live, but my website is actually courses.indiad.live. And as I go to courses.indiad.live, this is my landing page here because it's not quite finished, but I want to send people here and let people know that the website is coming. And if you want to be notified, hint, 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 by the way, if you haven't been notified and if you haven't signed up, please sign up for IndiaD, courses.indiad.live, and you'll get an email to let you know once it goes live. But this is my landing page. So I definitely would recommend that. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. I'll log in and I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek so you can see the differences. This kind of puts a mask on. So with the landing page, what this does is that this puts a mask on my website. And you guys, unless you have access to the direct link, then you won't be able to see the rest of the stuff. So I want to make sure landing page, if you're doing all these directs from the domain. And then how is Rebrandly better than Bitly? So it's pretty much the same. It's a competitor. I use Rebrandly because I know that there's no fees and it was like the more popular one and it's been easy. It's just a preference kind of thing. It's kind of like a Google versus Yahoo, things like that. I know that a lot of people in the community use Rebrandly. And so for me, it's like, okay, if the majority of the people in the community use Rebrandly, then that's what I started using, right? So let me just go here, Kajabi. I don't know how to spell it, of course. Of course. There you go. So I'll start just to show you guys. So I want to show you guys. So that's my one landing page, right? Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate you. And Angie says, don't. Paper's life. Nothing like writing on paper. Whatever. I don't know. I guess. If you say so. And then I have my bio. So indiad.live/bio. And then this is the landing page for my bio, right? So again, keeping it consistent with my brand, okay, if I want to find India and I need her bio links, where did she say that she wants to go? And so this is all my information here. These are all clickable links. So these two pages on my website are live. Everything else is kind of hidden. And I'm using my domain to point my customers and my potential clients to my website, right? So I set that up there. And I don't want to go too much into Rebrandly because we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But there's some good stuff there with that. And let me come back over here. Until it gets wet, because that would happen to me. Right. With paper, see? I don't got to worry about that. Although if my iPad gets wet, that's a whole nother problem. But that is everything in terms of it's very simple. It is fairly cost effective with creating your own brand and making sure that you have your own domain in place, right? It's really important to take the couple of bucks. They're as low as $3 and they do bill you annually, right? So it's like, whatever it is, $20 for the year, I think, for names.com. You get right. That's true. Gigi, it will always be in the cloud. You're 100% right. It will always be in the cloud. I don't have to worry. I can switch from my iPad mini to my iPad Pro. My notes are always there. Thank you. Angie's going to hit me once this live stream is done. But as you start to create your own brand, or if you want to solidify your brand, or if you want to expand your brand, right? Evie gave perfect examples that as she starts to create and as you start becoming more and more engulfed in whatever it is you're doing with different services, she gave a perfect example of she's constantly looking at new domains as she's expanding her business, because she wants to make sure that she keeps consistent with that branding and with that marketing. So thank you again. Feedback, feedback is a gift. It means so much to me. So even if it was crappy, you guys got to be like, India, this stream was crappy. Come through tomorrow because today sucked. But of course, I want to hear all of this type of positive feedback. I'm all for the positive reinforcement. So thank you. That means a lot to me. So got everything in a nutshell. I hope to hear throughout the rest of the week what new domains you purchased. Remember, this is Domain Addicts Anonymous, so you are not blaming me. I'm just the person who says, hey, Angie, you have something to say today? And Angie's going to be on at the end of the week, and she's going to be like, hi, my name is Angie, and I'm addicted to buying domains. That's going to be Angie at the end of the week. And Simply Obs is going to be Angie's sponsor, because Simply Obs can tell her all the things. Thank you so much, Gretchen. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we will be back tomorrow with our Rebrandly. So feel so alive. I know that you are always showing lots of support. You are always either catching it on the replay, you're always giving comments and things like that, or you try to pop in. So I appreciate you on that. So tomorrow, if you are, y'all are not blaming me. Yes, come to the dark side. I'm not creating an addict, although I am a little worried about Angie now, because she's going to start. She probably already, because Angie's the type of person that you tell her something, and as you're explaining to her, she's already on her phone doing her own research. Like, she's listening to you, but she's already researching it on her own. So I'd be surprised if she has a cart full of domains that she's going to say, well, I think that I should get this one, and I think that I should get that one. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. That means so much to me. And so today, let me put this back, because we're going to end the stream this way. Today was day 14, you guys. This way. 14, you guys. Today was day 14. We have 86 days to go. We are about to cross the threshold of 20 days sooner than you know it. And I did put a poll on the YouTube community tab that I said I think I may do a small celebration on day 20, which is this week, Saturday. 20 days down. We may do a small giveaway. I don't know, guys. I'm thinking about it. Tomorrow is day 15. We'll be talking about Rebrandly. As usual, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for showing love. You guys are the best. We will catch you guys. Oh, tomorrow, I'm pushing it an hour back because I have the first time homebuyer seminar. So tomorrow we will be streaming an hour later than normal, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I already scheduled everything out, but take note, tomorrow will be an hour later than what I normally start. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Gretchen, thank you. I didn't even realize. I didn't fix my calendar. It's day 15. I just gave myself away.